Okay, Sasha, you're on.
Okay, thank you, John. Thank you for giving me that opportunity to present and share some ideas that I have for this topic of pommel horse and ring strength at home. And thank you everybody for taking your time to get this information from me. I appreciate it. So I am Meg, head coach at Vancouver Phoenix Gymnastics, and I've been working at that club for almost 10 years now. So today we will talk about what we can do in those hard times that we experience as gymnastics coaches, because we are out of our gym clubs, we cannot use facilities. So we have to come up with ideas how we can still be in touch with our boys and girls that we coach, and how we can motivate them and in these challenging times. So I would like to start with just a little talk about training principles. So there are 5 training principles that we have. It's specificity, overload, recovery, adaptation, and then detraining or reversibility. So when we work on something, we need to definitely consider those principles. So I guess a lot of our athletes now, since they've been not training at gymnastics clubs facilities, they kind of on that last stage, right? Detraining. However, we, for example, at Phoenix, we organized Zoom training sessions and we gave them some home conditioning as well. So they have been doing at home their conditioning, and also those Zoom sessions definitely help them a lot to keep them going and maintaining at least their fitness and specific basic skills that they can do at home. So also very important to consider that that saying, use it or lose it. So anything pretty much counts, right? That if they can do at least the basic things at home, it's all helps them to maintain at least their fitness and some strength and flexibility. So when they go back to the gym, they will be able to get to training much easier than if they will not do that at home. So, and then general fitness, of course, and mental well-being are important. So I have a few things to talk about today. The first one we're going to talk is wrist, elbow, and shoulder injury prevention exercises that the athletes can do at home, and also it's in the gym. It's one of the important things during their warm-up. They can definitely work on those exercises. So my plan is to show some exercises and talk about them. So I will show some ideas for wrists, elbows, and shoulders exercises. So the first one, you can start standing, and just a simple fists and open. So just some mobility, and you lift your arms up and go to side and down, and then you go other directions, side first. So just get some warming up of your wrist, and then rotation forward with your wrist, and then you do elbows. So just mobility and get yourself going. And then for shoulders, of course, we all know that. And then same exercise, but backward rotations. You do 5 to 10 of those. So then the next idea would be on the ground, on the floor. If you have a mat or a yoga mat. So stretching your wrists, leaning over, and you can hold it for 5-10 seconds. Then side to side with straight arms.
Sasha, if you just back up a little bit, we'll see your hands better.
Thank you, John. Yeah.
Perfect, right there. Thank you.
I can change the angle. No, that's good, yeah. So side to side, rocking, and make sure the elbows are locked, and then you can hold each side. Then fingers facing your knees, and you lean back, and you feel the stretch. So I believe in gymnastics, we definitely need to have a really good flexibility, wrist this way. So really, really important. So that's another idea to stretch. Elbow locked, pull your fingers towards yourself. So that's stretching really, very nicely. Now, very important exercise for me that I use with the boys, especially to understand how to lock the elbows for planches and for handstands and all those skills that we have to do in gymnastics with locked straight arms. Rotating your elbows with nice straight arms. So elbow pits facing forward, and then putting pressure, of course, on the floor with your wrist, and try to move them as far as possible other direction. So what I'm doing now, I'm moving my elbow pits facing forward and backward as much as possible. So you, of course, as I already mentioned, putting pressure on your hands. So that's a nice kind of support. So that gives understanding for how that operates, that support position. The next exercise I would show would be on your fist, and it's slow with keeping a straight arms, rolling your fist on the back of your hand, and then coming up. So that would be warm up, and then strengthening your wrist exercise, option 1 modified on your knees and support, and opening your hips, keeping nice 1 unit body, and you slow going down on the back of your hand and then fast up. So slow, this part should be slow on the way up, fast. The option 2, you can do it, the athletes can do it on their feet. So the numbers would be 5 to 10. Then another strengthening exercise for your wrist would be option 1. Again, you modify this on your knees. It would be with younger athletes. And you get your palms off, still on your fingers, and on. Keeping, again, your body needs to be 1 unit. Again, 5 to 10, and then you can hold. Hold there. The next one, and you can also do it, of course, on your feet, on the front support on your feet. The next one would be fingertip, down, down. So you can do that alternating left and right, and then you can hold on your fingertips. So this one, you need to be careful. Some of the boys I know, they find it very hard. So to build it up, again, you get them to do it on their knees first. Okay, so that's some ideas for strengthening exercises for your wrists. The other thing I like doing, and I remember doing it all the time when I was athlete myself, it's to massage your fingers and your wrist. So using your body weight. So you put your hands under your bum, and you're starting from fingertips, and then go further and further, fingers, and then on your wrist. So if you can see what I'm doing, it feels really good, and it's a good also recovery for your wrists and fingers after workout. And then you turn other way, palms up, and do the same thing, okay? So go further. It's a good feeling of, it's also helping to warm up and get ready for your workout. Okay, so the other exercises I would include to strengthen your wrist, it would be push-ups on your fist. So the fist needs to be very strong, flat, so not turning either way, so perpendicular to the ground, and just classic push-up, elbows in, chest touching the ground, and stability here, body one unit again. So you have to remind the athletes, of course, how important it is to engage your core muscles. So that would be 10. We normally do 10. The other option is to do it, it's modified, it's more difficult with fist, taking your fist off. And when you're landing back on your fist, you maintain very strong position. So I believe it helps to build the strength for circles on the handles. And also you can include, let's move on to elbow. Couple of exercises for elbow. Strength and injury prevention, plank, and you go on your hands, slow down, fast up. Slow down, fast up. So again, it's 10. The numbers don't need to be big. However, the secret of maintaining the healthy body is to do it on a regular basis. So the exercises like this need to be included in your warm-up and preferably every day. So it just gets your athletes to be prepared better for workout and also gets your blood circulation. And again, the principle, use it or lose it. So you've got to stress the whole body physically and mentally to get your progress going. So your muscles, your joints, the whole body systems, energy systems, it's all, you can only do it if you're actually exercising and doing simple things, starting from simple things. Okay, so then the other option I like doing is a rear support, fingers facing forward, open your hips, and a very simple, again, it stretches your shoulders and keeping your body nice and straight. This one can be also 10, 20, the numbers, again, don't need to be very big, but it's all helping to strengthen the elbows and wrists. So shoulders, all those push-ups, we do different types. It's also injury prevention. Some ideas for push-ups, I already mentioned push-ups on your fist. Diamond, nice support. I'll show you modified on your knees. So that's for young gymnasts. Again, 1 unit. And you do the same on your feet and a nice support. Then you can do wide arm push-up. Wide arm, chest touching the ground, body nice, strong. And then with the clap. So that's it's modified, it's for all the athletes and keeping body nice and straight. Again, it's good for shoulders, good for elbows, good for wrists. The other one would be push-up with fingers facing towards your feet. And that's kind of Maltese style. So you can get your shoulders over and keeping your elbows on top of your wrist. Again, for younger gymnasts, I would do it first on your knees. But again, it needs to be done in a nice posture. And of course, stretching shoulders. Also, it's injury prevention, right? Preparing your workout. Then you can get hands wide, partially in location, touching the floor. Okay, stretching shoulders. In back support, sitting on your bum, hands behind. And bungee or anything that dowel, hockey stick, whatever possible to use, towel, and you do it in location, dislocation. Very, very important also. So I put some notes. Just give me a second. So I'll have a look if I, yeah, I think that's pretty much all for those ideas. And I'm sure for most of you, it could be just a kind of refreshing reminder. So now, John, I'm ready for answering questions.
Sure, Sasha. Thanks very much. That was good so far. Yeah, we only had just one question came in from Chris, and Devi was right on it to answer the question. He was just wondering what your 5 principles were again. But in the chat, Devi gave your answer: specificity, overload, recovery, adaptation, and detraining. So he got the answer he wanted. If anybody else has any questions on what Sasha has presented so far, please just type them in quickly now. Just give everyone a couple of seconds there to do that.
Yeah, sure.
And I don't see anything coming our way. So Sasha, I think it's, oh, yeah. Can you, sorry, just Haley has just asked if you could elaborate on the 5 principles a little bit.
Elaborate, meaning, sorry.
Just a little bit more definition of what each of them is.
Oh, okay, of course, yeah, sure. So specificity. So, for example, for gymnastics, so you picture the final result. Why you want to do any exercise. So, for example, if I want to teach somebody, for example, double back. So that's my goal, to teach I set the goal for within a few months, my athletes needs to be able to double back. So you got to be very specific what exercises you want to use for that, what drills, what physical capacity you want to build in your athlete, and of course mental also. So it has to be step by step. So specificity. So for example, if we go out of gymnastics and say a swimmer wants to get a world record in freestyle, of course that everything would be set up, the training will be set up, and for that goal it will be very specific, so that the swimmer will not go for a long bike rides or whatever, right? Only as a play, like for pleasure. So that's what specificity would be. Overload, of course, you have to make sure that over time you either increase the numbers or increase intensity of the exercises. Otherwise, the overload is not going to happen, right? Recovery, of course, if you keep on pushing and keep on doing something without a plan, day after day, you overload, it will lead to overtraining. So you have to give your athletes time to recover. So the muscles need to, of course, be stressed, but then you need to give your body time to recover. Adaptation, and then over a period of time, it will be, your body will adapt, and you will be ready to go to the next level. But again, you have to use also the plan that you're not able to go always up and up and up. You have to be able to use the kind of annual planning when you peak and when you let it go a little bit and take it easy. And reversibility, of course, or detraining. If you stop training for any reason, then of course your body will detrain very quickly, as we know. And it's that's what those principles are about.
Okay, the detraining is what's happening to everybody right now, basically.
Yeah, basically, if they're not able to do at least like Zoom sessions, or if they're not able to, if they're not committed or motivated to do home conditioning by themselves, that's what's happening, yeah, unfortunately. So that's why we're trying to do whatever we can to at least maintain some of their abilities here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so John, I'll go to next section.
Perfect.
So it will be pommel horse, scissors, and flare preparation. So I believe that we need to pay attention to a few things. First is, of course, leg swings. So leg swings in all different positions. I will talk about it in a moment. Then, of course, flexibility, active and passive flexibility. Splits are required for sure to be able to do good flares and scissors. And of course, we need to pay attention to leg form during the training. So we need to see very strong legs and pointed feet and toes. And core. The core strength is also very, very important, because during scissors or flares, you need to definitely keep your body one unit with a split legs, right? And shoulder strength, shoulder, wrist, and elbow strength. So that's very, very important things. So I will give you just a few ideas. I talked to John before, and I said, I'm kind of not sure how long it will take each session, each section. So we might not get enough time. So, okay, anyway, leg swings. I would use standing leg swings. So we can, it's good for balance as well. Example, you can do, I usually do like 10 those swings, and then hold. Hold is very good because it's your active flexibility involved and strengthening your hip flexor. And then side, we do side swings. So very important it's also artistic presentation. We cover a little bit of floor, right? So keeping your arms nice and straight, and then hold, and it's good for balance. They can only do it if it's a very strong support leg, and then core engaged. So holding, and then of course other leg backward. Option 1, you can do just standing. Option 2, you can lean on something, couch, for example. I'll show you the couch, and you can do a swing backward in this position, and then hold. Good for the scale and balance. Using the core, hands off. So that depends on their level. So standing. The other thing I find very helpful, I'll just show very quickly, with a shoe, or ankle weights. If they don't have ankle weight at home, they can wear shoes, and it will be for any swings. Why? Because it gives a little bit weight, and as you know, when your body is moving, it weighs more, and same with your leg, and you do same all directions. So that's an idea. Using shoes is good for building the strength, and Also, I will show the other option. If possible, they can hold something and swings like this. So I'll show you this way. So swings like they do in the gym. So this is really good because that gives a little bit more more momentum. And same forward, so the leg can go back. So standing, holding something. So that would be very good. The next one, we can do lying down. Lying down, and you can do, I would do it more with younger boys at the beginning rather than standing, because, okay, so then you do front and then hold. So the front and side, hold, and then you can do kicks like this. So kind of both knees locked, body nice, one unit. And backward kicks, also good to build up their active flexibility and strength. So alternating and holding as well. And you can build, paying attention to leg form, you can build better quality gymnastics. On the elbow would be next, like side, for example, and you swing and then hold. And then same here, but you can also do, I'll show you this way. You can go front and side. So this is more for flares, developing good flares. Okay, so one leg can be bent, you can do, it's a variety. So you can do all directions. And for back swing on the elbows, also very good for plank, and you can go side as well. Right, so back, and you can continue continuation, like without putting your foot down. Back and side on the elbows. Okay, so that's kind of starting from more simple, and then you get onto your elbow. And the hardest one is in support. So this one will definitely challenge you guys, and I would do it with more prepared boys that have strength and reasonable flexibility. Otherwise they might do this, you know, because they won't be able to hold a good position. So support, and same idea, swings up and down, then side in nice support, keeping body as still as possible. And the other option, go continuation without putting your foot down. It's more, it's harder. Side, same thing. You go to the side, get nice support. That arm can be just slightly touching the ground with your fingertips, and you do swings. So this is for Caesar. Keeping body nice and still, leaning over, locked elbow, and then hold. Same other side. And support, same idea. So swinging in support, leaning over like in a plunging position, and then side, and then continuation, back and side. Again, keeping body as still as possible with a nice support position. So that's pretty much all about the swings. Next one, we can talk about splits. Of course, everybody knows how important it is to have good split, all three. And I'll give you a little bit ideas for leg form exercises. Just, I'm sure it's nothing new, but you can get them on the ground and relax legs and then tight. So that they relax tight. But just engagement, feeling that your quads are really, really tight. When you, and then hold, of course, so you do, for example, 10 repetitions of that, and then hold, and then bounces. Strong legs, just bouncing and feeling that it's so tight and strong, and then relax. So that's kind of just a simple exercise that might be included in building the leg form. Then all those things like lifting both legs, and paying attention, of course, how tight and strong your legs are. Also hip flexors that you need for flares, that sort of thing, okay? Toe stretch, of course, on your toes and bum into your heels. So all those things you need to pay attention. That's pretty much all. Any questions, guys? John?
Yeah, I have no questions in front of me right now, Sasha.
Yeah, okay, I'll keep going. We have...
yeah, about 30 minutes.
Yeah, good. So now we're moving on to support strength exercises. So what I was going to talk about is what we need to build for good pommel horse work or rings. It's of course your upper body strength, right? Of course, and core. But we'll talk about support exercises that you can use to strengthen your shoulders, your wrists, your elbows. So that one of the important things that you can really include in your home conditioning is to do, we already talked about push-ups. So push-ups, it's a basic, it's classic, and we already covered all those different types of push-ups. So one thing you can add, I quite like this one, if you can do it at home as long as you have 2 chairs. So that one, it would be support. So you put 2 chairs, you put your hands on one chair, your feet on the other chair. You can keep your body piked, it's fine, and then go as low as possible down and up. So that at least, so we're building up the tricep strength, and every time they go up, must lock the elbows, keeping shoulders all the time extended, shrugging up, nice posture. So numbers could be, because it's not as hard as when you do on parallel bars, so I would do about 30, that would be, and try to do in one go. The other thing you can, every athlete who is doing gymnastics should be able to do 30 push-ups, easy, no problem, as a warm-up. So just all in one go, it's a classic push-up. The other thing I like doing is shoulder shrug in support. So get nice support position, and you can hold it, get your athletes to hold it for 10 seconds, and then you do shrug. All the way down, shoulder blades together, all the way up. Then you can do stop halfway. So you push up, shrug up, then go halfway, and then 3-second hold, and then all the way down, 3-second hold, halfway, 3-second hold, all the way up. And of course, paying attention, squeeze the bum, engage your core, so your body should be very strong, one unit. So no sagging, no losing that. So if you combine all those things together, it's a pretty good workout. So I would do repetitions like 10, and with those shrugs, with the stop in the middle, I would do 5 sets of 3-second each position, maybe a couple of sets. Same idea for back support. So shrugging down, shrugging up, all the way down, all the way up. Okay, and then halfway, all the way, halfway, hold 3, all the way up, 3. Side, same idea. Hold and shrug. All the way down, all the way up. Okay, and then down, halfway, all the way. 3-second hold each. So that's a good way to maintain some strength during those times when you have to stay at home. Okay, the other option, you can make it more difficult if you do the same thing, back support or front support, feet raised. Same idea, shrugging up and down, and that will be for parallel bars as well as for pommel pose. An extension, hips up. While I'm here with the chair, the other thing I like is a core preparation, and would be good for tumbling and pommel pose for circles as well. Holding this position with feet raised, squeezing bum, hips up, and holding it for at least 1 minute. So build it up, of course, for younger boys, maybe it will be too long, like 30 seconds and 1 minute. And I know that trampolinists, in order to build this nice strong line, they're doing it up to 4 minutes holding in one turn. Okay, so let me just quickly have a look at my notes. Okay, of course, yeah. Then I forgot about rocking side to side. So support, back support, and tap. Tap your side. Okay. Then the other thing, of course, front support, same thing, side to side, and then you can hold. The other thing, you can shrug one arm as well. Shrug up and down. Okay, so same thing here. Side, we're pretty much side we already covered. It's shrugging and holding. And the other thing I like, preparation, hands as close as possible in back support. So making sure that I can't really I lost my flexibility now, but hands coming together in the back support and keeping a nice extended body. It's good for one handle circle and uphill circles as well. So that's a good one. The other one would be just another idea. You go push up, go up, tap your shoulder. Tap your shoulder. So talking about those exercises that involve push up. Also, I find it really good if you need to have space for it, but at least you can do, if you can't go all around, you can just keep your feet on one spot and travel. Travel with your hands all the way and then back. So if the space allows, you can go 360, one way, 360 other way, and you can do a few repetitions. Same in the back support. You get your feet on the spot and you travel. Pushing side to side, rocking, keeping hips open. Like in my situation, my room is pretty small, but I can go at least maybe 180 or less, so you can go one way, other way, and again, if you can't go right around. So that's a good one for pommel support as well. Okay, so that's some ideas. Let me check my notes if I have anything else to share with you. Front support. Yeah, in all exercises, you need to really pay attention how the body stays one unit. So it has to be squeezed bum, locked knees, toe point. So that's not just how, not just what you do it, but how. That's also counts, of course. And planche work. So the other, I saved it for last because I believe this is one of the most important things. So front support and working through planche. So leaning over. So this is a planche position without lifting your feet off. But for younger boys, it will build the strength, of course. And then tuck planche. So it's when you lift your knees and feet off the ground and you hold that tuck planche. They can also use parallettes. So the parallettes, and they hold it with, of course, the elbows. We want the elbow pits facing forward. We don't want elbow pits facing in. The elbow pits needs to face forward. Any planche they do. And then planche can be for more advanced guys. They can do one leg extended from tuck, other leg extended, then kind of frog position planche here, back to tuck planche. So that requires this kind of work. One leg extended, bring it back, other leg extended, bring it back. And then the next would be straddle planche, straddle hold on parallettes, straddle planche, back to straddle hold. Straddle planche, straddle hold. Like 5 repetitions. And the same with the one leg extended, you can do 5 each. And then try to hold at the end. So that planche workout is definitely will help, especially for a Russian type of skills on pommel horse. And of course, it's one of the things for rings. Very, very important skill that you need to work on. Okay, so I think I need to move on now to next section of my presentation. So John, any questions so far for that one?
No, your explanations have been so good. There's no questions at this point, Sasha. So just keep motoring.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure it was good? Okay.
And I just want to commend you for your level of fitness as well, man. You're keeping up a conversation while doing these exercises is pretty amazing.
Oh, thank you. You know why? It's all those Zoom sessions I've been doing. David knows, right, David? That I'm not doing, of course, all of the stuff what I'm asking the boys to do, but it helps a lot for me to keep myself fit. Thank you. Anyway, the next section is ring basic strength at home. So if the boys would have bungee and parallettes at home, it would be a big bonus. So I know that most of especially higher level athletes, it's obviously they have it. For younger boys, it would be bonus if they have. So some quick ideas for the bungee workout. So that's a few things they can do. They can do bicep curl. It's all counts, you know. That mobility is very important. Then the other thing, they can do tricep work. So keeping elbows right up and bent and straight. It's mainly depends on the bungee resistance, but it's kind of injury prevention and warm up. We always use bungee for warm up. So the other thing, my bungee won't allow me to do it all the way. So this from here all the way up, my bungee is not very good for, so all the way up, you understand, right? So from here, and for cross, you go to cross position and down. Here and down. So they can do this. Then for planche, lifting arms, and you can go all the way up, so facing this way. So it's a very simple kind of a few examples. And if they can attach it to the door handle or something, they can do quite a lot of exercises. Like imagine it's a bungee attached behind me, they can do circles forward, they can do circles backward, they can do those flyers. They can do Maltese kind of preparation exercises, a nice straight body. So bungee is great. And then, of course, at the end, always, or between your turns, that invocation, dislocation, it's a great exercise. Okay, and you can do some stretching between the turns. So bungee is great. Parallettes also very good. I'll show you one exercise that I really like for strengthening elbows, for any strength exercises on rings. First, it's a Japanese support. Your hands wide. And option 1, on your knees. And you just hold it for 10, 20 seconds with locked elbows. Option 2, more advanced, you hold it with feet on the ground only. And go as low as possible. Okay? So Devi, for example, can hold it like you can hardly see any room between his chest and the ground. So that's a really strong position that Devi can hold. So that's the ultimate goal for this exercise. The other one is archers. So when you go, same idea, Japanese support, but I'll show my knees. So, and you just move from one side to other side. Your chest stays as low as possible without touching the ground. And you just lock the elbow every time. Again, I really feel that elbow work out for my elbow. And for cross preparation, I know that's it's one other thing that is really hard to do at home without any equipment, right? But if you can kind of put yourself on your knees, put one hand on the couch or anything that elevated high enough that you can actually put pressure and partially kind of move your shoulder forward. You know how to cross your elbow peak, you want to look it down, right? And you push down and just hold there. I can really feel pressure on my elbow. So we want fist facing down like this, right? And we don't want to be in a kind of this position, like artistic presentation. We want actually shoulder partially inlocated, just a little bit. And elbow pit looking down, and you push down. So I can feel my elbow, like really. So that's another kind of, it could be a forward lap or just, and then other arm. So see what I'm doing? Like really feeling that pressure. So at least it's something. And then bungee, if possible, to attach it somewhere, which is very hard to find at home. So you can pull down. Okay, so planche, we covered planche. We covered this archers. And of course, handstand. So handstand hold, one suggestion for rings, ring handstand, turn the parallettes out. Turn the parallettes out and do handstand with parallettes out. Okay, like this. Same with Maltese push-ups. So parallettes out, support. I'll show you this, this angle. Parallettes wider than shoulders. If the boy is ready, I would start just shoulder width. But when they get stronger, they can do and leaning over and elbows staying on top of the wrist. And you go all the way down, all the way up, with maintaining nice, strong body position. So that, if you're working out on specifically this day on Maltese preparation, for the future, I would do 3 sets of 10 of those nice, not fast. You don't want to go too fast. You want to really feel that, that your muscles are loading. And the other suggestions for Maltese would be lying down on the floor and getting nice hollow chest. Tighten your body and push down with your arms and squeeze your bum. Squeeze every single muscle in your body. Point your feet, everything very, very strong. And pushing down, trying to kind of feeling that you want to lift yourself off the ground. And hold it for 5-7 seconds. But it has to be all out in 3 sets. So at least it's something that will help you when you go back to the gym. If you don't have rings at home, you will be not as bad as if you do at least something. So that's other things. Press to handstand, pike press to handstand. Pike press to handstand is the key for just a press to handstand on rings with bent arms, right? Especially for younger boys if they learn it. So the press to handstand can be done without any equipment, just on the floor. And for younger boys who cannot do press to handstand, it's a couple of things they can do. They can, first of all, they can do this, if they have parallels, I'll show you with parallels, but same thing with the floor, hands on the floor or on parallels, and they do piked handstand push-ups. So of course they need to go lower than 90 degrees preferably. So it's one of the exercises. If not, they can do it on the ground or just feet on the floor as well. And modified press to handstand, I would do standing and getting on your headstand. And then from headstand, opening your hips and pushing your arms at the same time. So it's kind of like a more dynamic version of actual press, but the same muscles are working. So it's kind of easier to do it for younger boys. So that's, I would do that, and also that push up in the piked hips, go into piked handstand. So that would be preparation for a piked press. And if they have parallels, from L seat, piked press with bent arms to handstand repetition, as many as they can in one turn. The other thing, endo presses, of course, would be helpful for press to handstand rings with straight arms and straddle press. Endo press, L seat straddle press, L seat piked press. All those presses to handstands are very important, and they guys who don't have parallels, they can do standing, from standing, straddle and pike. So I would do 10, at least 10 in one session. Okay, so that's probably, yeah, and handstand hold for time. I think I didn't mention that. Handstand hold for time, up to 1 minute on floor or on parallels. Okay, so we have questions at all, or?
I just gave everyone a quick reminder, Sasha, to ask for some questions. We do have one now from Richard. Yep. The exercises you did today are for athletes at home. Do you do the same exercises during normal training? If so, when do you do these exercises? In general conditioning, at the beginning of training, or before the event?
Oh, very good question, Richard. Thank you.
And do you do it every day?
So a lot of exercises that I showed you, we actually do during our warm-up. Not necessarily every day I lead warm-up, but I have one of my athletes to lead the warm-up, and especially the injury prevention that I mentioned, also the wrist elbows, we pretty much do it every day at the beginning. So the exercises, the other exercises like pommel horse, Caesar preparation, we definitely do swings. However, those exercises that are some of them that showed in support in the elbows, it's not part of our kind of everyday session. I guess we do it, but not that often. However, Richard, we have the exercises that I mentioned, quite a few of them, I kind of try to use for Zoom sessions because of the lack of equipment. So, and as I already mentioned that, of course, some of them part of our session, training, either the beginning or during our apparatus workout, and we do at the beginning. So some of them just for warm up, like those swings, for example, for pommel horse, because I think the swings are really, really important to get those, especially for younger boys, to understand and build up the active flexibility. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Sasha. Are there any more questions? Nothing has come in at this moment on the chat.
Okay, good. So I have core strength, and I would like to share one exercise that we used to do in Russia for specifically for pommel horse circles. So what you need for this exercise is you need to, I just fold my mat. Something that you can use, maybe a couch pillow or something. I mean, the boys. And you need to lie on your side, and you need to hold something. So for, in my case, John, can you see me? Is it good view?
Yeah, that's good, Sasha.
Okay. So in my case, it's I have that shelf, bookshelf. So what you do, lying down. So why it need to be elevated? So you can get a little bit more amplitude. So what you do, you go up and down. Your legs go up and down. You know what? I have to show other side. This side, I pull something on this side. I'm sorry, and I will hang on. Yeah, I'll turn. Sorry, guys. I just didn't realize that it's gonna hurt that much on my side. Age is creeping on me. Okay, so so you lie down, you hold something. I'll hold a chair in this case, and what you do is lifting your legs up and down. So this side is much better. So you have to go as low as possible, as high as possible. So that's really working your core. And then you hold, and then you circle. You circle your legs around one way. Hang on, I'm touching the lack of space. You need to have space. Okay, so you circle your legs around, trying to keep your body in one unit. And then other direction. You circle them. So I will do 10 circles one way, 10 circles the other way, and then hold again. So now I really feel, if I do it with very tight legs, it's this area all involved in that exercise. So I really like that exercise. And the higher, of course, you are above the ground, the more you can get amplitude up and down and also around. So I really like that one. So just kind of some ideas. And of course, all those things, the classic things like we do all those dish hold, dish rocks. It's all good for pommel horse and rings because that's your core, right? Dish hold, dish rocks, up and down, knee snaps, on your side, on your stomach, right? All those things. It's an everyday workout. It must be an everyday workout, in my belief, because that's just maintains the feel of your body for your gymnastics. And just looking, guys, if I have anything else. Yeah, I just wanted to mainly talk about that specific exercise that I find really helpful, especially in this situation like we have now, when we cannot train in the gym. So we now at 2 o'clock, John. Any questions for that core? Because core, guys, it's I'm sure there's so many exercises for core, and all of us pretty much using it in our sessions.
There's no questions on the core at this time. Although it's nice, I'm glad that we now have the Russian secret in BC. So we should see a lot more Podgorny type pommel horse.
Yes.
Nagorny, sorry, type pommel horse in the near future, I'm sure, from BC.
Yeah, that's all they, that's what they do, right? That's why they're stable on pommel horse, right? That's a secret weapon. Okay, so if we have time, I'll just want to share one more exercise for a landing for your dismounts on pommel and rings. If we have time only, John. Otherwise, it's not that important.
I'm sure we can listen to it for sure, Sasha. If anybody needs to tune out, this is being recorded and it'll be on the GBC YouTube channel.
Okay,
so
perfect. So it's only yeah, it will take only a couple of minutes. So just some ideas that I like. I think that women's Canadian national team is using it. It's from, if I'm not mistaken, from Martha, a physiotherapist, and I really like that idea. So what that exercise, because there are hundreds of exercises for leg power, but this one I like because you have to land in a lower than usual position and hold it for about 3 to 5 seconds. So what do? You jump forward, and then as you land straight into this lower than usual position. So you're not, normally you would land here, right, with strong arms, but here you want to land here and hold it. Okay, and then you jump backward. Same, you have to hold, if feet slightly apart is fine, and then you hold it lower. So with nice leaning slightly forward, and then you add, you do 5 to 10 each, okay? And then you do on one leg. So this is on one leg also a little bit lower than normally would land. And keeping arms nice and strong, slightly out and down. And you hold this position and then you turn and land on other. So the idea is to, rather than here, you prepare, because in our sport, not all your dismounts, of course, perfect all the time. Sometimes you need to take a hit with low landing, a little bit low, double front or double back or something, double, and then you have to land a little bit lower than usual. But if you prepare yourself for that, then you will take the hit without injuring yourself, and you lose less points for your landing. Okay, so that's all, John, from me. Thank you very much, everybody, for taking your time again to listen.
Thank you, Sasha. Very nice to see you. Thank you.
Nice to see you too. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you, John. Nice to see you too.
I appreciate it. Yeah. Okay. So thanks, guys. See you hopefully sometime soon at the competition or training camps. Okay.